Hello everyone, this is J Empire Queen. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 underrated games that you should get on the Nintendo Switch. In Sword of the Vagrant, you play as Vivian, a sellsword who has crashed on an island which appears to have a thriving town despite the amount of monsters and creatures that inhabit the land. Now, this game isn't perfect. Sometimes the combat can be a little flawed and it doesn't always seem to move as efficiently as it could, but when it comes to the backgrounds, the illustrations, just the beautiful artwork in this game, it is top notch. And combat is pretty fun. It's your basic hack and slash side scroller that you can just dive into and enjoy right away. It's very simple controls, just a basic button press to attack and to jump. You can eventually unlock skills where you press up and A to do a special attack, or press the different directions with A as you unlock the attacks, but it's still very simple in design. You can also equip different weapons and armor, and it's nice that when you equip a different weapon, you actually get to see a new weapon and how it looks. You can also utilize a skill tree to increase your character's strength, defense, and unlock more skills. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like, just your core hack and slash, lose yourself in the battles, then this would be the game for you. Next up, we're going to talk about Vambrace Cold Soul, which is also a side-scroller, I would say, RPG, because it is very reliant on who you place in your party and in what formation. It's a game I'm still trying to figure out myself, but it has a very interesting premise. So much like in Sword of the Vagrant, you have a message from your father and you're trying to discover whatever it is his legacy was that was left behind. But the difference is in that Vambrace Cold Soul, you have this vanguard, which gives you the power to pass through this kind of frost barrier that's keeping people in a city. Okay, they're basically trapped. And so what you have to do is get a team together to venture forth and complete these quests. Okay, but this game is very difficult. It is challenging. You have to manage so many things. You have to manage vigor and health. If either one of those two bars go down, you lose party members. And it's really abrupt how you lose them. They're just gone. There's no reviving. But it's nice that you can also just recruit new characters at the inn or tavern. You go there and there's a whole wall of potential recruits that you can look up. Okay, so combat is pretty simple. You pick what attacks you want to do. Some characters have where you can attack from long range, others have to be positioned short range, and that's where that kind of formation of your team comes into play. You can choose to block. You can only use items when you camp, and it's very risky. When that little bar on the left-hand side fills up, that means there's going to be your character is going to be in a lot of danger. I've only had it happen once because you can return to the surface before your characters die, which is nice if you need to go back, use the items you have, and get some armor or some healing potions to keep you alive. Next up we have Dogurai, which is a charming little platformer which uses a simple jump, slide, and slash mechanic. It's challenging in certain levels and requires you to carefully plan your moves. I have played this game, I think I beat about 2 out of, the 5 or 6 main levels they have. And it will require you to study and learn enemy moves. It's fun. It's not overly difficult, but it's a game you can get lost in and just simply play and zone out everything else. It's usually only $4 or $5 on the eShop, and I think that it's just something to pick up and play when you want to forget the world and have a good old time. Each level has a different sort of element to it. As you can see, there's some levels that have ice, some have fire, and they all have different puzzles and challenges that relate to those elements. And it makes for just a really beautiful game to look at and appreciate the details within. If you like platformers and puzzle games, and even games that have a kind of story you have to dig into and find the underlying concept, Evans Remains is the game for you to pick up. Now, it focuses on a girl named Isis who is tasked with finding a missing person. And honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to the story. I've been so busy trying to figure out the puzzles, which are actually quite challenging. A lot of the puzzles have to do with jumping on different platforms and jumping back and forth at different specific times, and it can be quite frustrating, and it took me a while to figure out how to solve some of these. If you are stuck on a puzzle, you do have the option to skip the puzzle and kind of move on to where the story would be, which is good for people like me who struggle with puzzles in general. And the story is interesting. I wouldn't say it's like the most interesting story ever, but it does capture your interest, especially when you're looking at all the beautiful artwork, the just detail that's put into every scene. And so if this is your style, you can pick it up. It's usually pretty cheap on the eShop. It's currently on sale for $3.74 on the Nintendo eShop at this time. Original price $14.99, so that's a pretty good deal. I am saving the best for last here. This is Morbid, the 7 Acolytes. And I am loving this game. It is so fun. So if you're a fan of Demon's Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, basically the Dark Souls games, then you're going to like this version. And if you like 8-bit style, this is something you want to grab. You start off kind of your lone adventurer, and just like in those games, you are the chosen one who has to defeat these 7 acolytes that are running rampant in this world. So you have your main weapon that you get off this body, but you have to grow and build your character. Before you can even touch skills, you have to kill your first acolyte. And it's actually really fun. Combat's not too hard once you get the hang of it. Swing your sword, shoot your bow and arrow, and use your potions. It all depends on leveling up your weapons with runes, and that's a big help in defeating more powerful enemies. And you can just kind of load up your weapons with these runes and go crazy. Of course, you want to pay attention to the enemy's movements. This is the first Acolyte here, and he was pretty tough. But I beat him like the second or third time I tried. And you don't perma-die, you don't lose anything, you just kind of resurrect back at the altars. The graphics are stunning and the combat is very fluid and fun. So I would definitely recommend this top game to pick up when it's on sale. It's currently going for around $24.99, but just recently they had a sale and it was like maybe $5 or $6. Definitely grab it when you can. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you and have a great day.